On this slide, how to cast out a demon, I want to give you an example of the kind of miracle teachings that took place back then. The slide that we have on how to cast out a demon shows an ancient writer from that period in time talking about the way in which he performed the miracle of casting out a demon. Now look at the recipe that he's got. He says, take oil from unripe olives, together with a plant, mastigia, and lotus pith, and boil it with marjoram. Some of us have marjoram in our spice cabinet. And say, and here's the magic words, lo el asothormi emari. Okay, now the Hebrews had a way of saying things in Hebrew or Aramaic. So they had their own magical saying. And if you wonder about whether or not, why people would believe something like this, remember that in the church, when people had tried to cast out demons, even 40, 50 years ago, they would use particular phrases and words that they thought were effective against the demons. The same thing is true in the New Testament. The Hebrew formula that Pipicus used is called, I adjure thee by the God of the Hebrews, Jesu Yaba Ye Abro Letos. Right? So that would be the magic words that they believed would help them cast out a demon. Jesus looks like an ancient miracle worker when he casts out the demons. And when I question about Jesus being syncretistic, it's almost as, I'm wondering, does it look as though Jesus is incorporating other kinds of miracle traditions and religious traditions in his own healings in the New Testament? Think about it this way. If Jesus is the Son of God, does he really need to use magic words the way he does to perform the miracle? If he is, for instance, healing a little girl who had died, as he does in the Gospels, in the Synoptics, does he really need to say the words, little girl, rise up, in Aramaic? And of course, Mark includes that phrase just so everybody knows what the actual magic words are. Does he need to do that, or can he just, because he's the Son of God, just pull the girl up and not say anything? Why does he need to spit in the mud when he's healing a blind man? Couldn't he just say, okay, I'm the Son of God, you're healed? Instead of doing that, Jesus spits in the mud and he makes this mush out of the dirt, and he puts it on the guy's eyes. And the question that I think New Testament scholars are asking themselves is, why does Jesus feel he needs to do this? Why couldn't he have just said something? Why does he practice his healing of ministry in the way that other healers practice their work of healing? Why is that the case? And I think one of the conclusions we can draw from the New Testament is that regardless of what you think about Jesus and his divinity, whether or not you agree with what the early church was saying about him, Jesus performed his miracles in a way that would seem familiar to the people around him. So people expected Jesus to say magical words when he healed people. They expected him to use things like mud off of the ground to heal people. And rather than challenge that, Jesus did his healings in a way that would have been familiar to the people of his time.